Hello, my name is McClish, and welcome to part 4 of this video series on statement analysis, detecting deception by analyzing how a person phrases their statement. In part 1, I've talked about examining the specific words a person uses. In part 2, I mentioned some unique words deceptive people like to use, and in part 3, I discussed the order a person mentions things. In part 4, I'm going to talk about verb tenses. When a person is recalling an event, he should be using past tense language. It doesn't matter if the event occurred 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago. If the person is recalling from memory what happened, he should be speaking in the past tense. In June 2012, Ray Dolan's hitchhiking across the United States to gather information for his book, The Kindness of America. An ironic twist, he says he's the victim of a drive-by shooting. Dolan claimed that while hitchhiking through Montana, he's preparing himself a roadside meal when a man in a pickup truck slowed down and shot him in the shoulder. The man in the truck then drove off. A passerby saw Dolan was in distress, pulled off the road, and called 911. In telling his story to the sheriff, Dolan said, "He came up, pulls up at normal speed, stops, points, shoots, and drives off. It's as simple as that." Dolan started out using past tense language with the verb came. However, he then switched to the present tense using 5 present tense verbs. If Dolan's statement was coming from memory, he would have said, "He came up, pulled up at normal speed, stopped, pointed, shot, and drove off. It's as simple as that." Eventually, Ray Dolan admitted he was not the victim of a drive-by shooting, but he shot himself in an effort to promote his book or perhaps in a failed suicide attempt. In January 2019, actor Jussie Smollett said he was leaving a Subway restaurant in the Chicago area when he was attacked by 2 men. In February 2019, Smollett talked about the attack with Robin Roberts from ABC News. In describing the attack, Smollett said, "I see the attacker. Punches me right in the face." Notice that Smollett used present tense language. If he's recalling from memory what happened to him, he should have said, "I saw the attacker. Punch me right in the face." Smollett would continue to use other present tense verbs during the interview. Many people believe that he made up the story about being attacked. In January 1998, President Bill Clinton found himself having to deny he's having an affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. The president agreed to be interviewed by Jim Lehrer with PBS. Lehrer asked the president, "You had no sexual relationship with this young woman?" President Clinton answered by saying, "There is not a sexual relationship that is accurate." Notice that the president answered the question using the present tense verb is. There is not a sexual relationship. All that means at the time of the interview, there's not a sexual relationship that was ongoing. The best answer the president could have given would have been to say, "I haven't had a sexual relationship." In August 1998, President Clinton admitted to a nationally televised audience they did have a relationship with Monica Lewinsky that was, quote, "not appropriate." In June 2008, Casey Anthony from Orlando, Florida claimed she dropped her 2-year-old daughter Kaylee off the nanny's apartment. 1 month later, she said she hadn't seen her daughter or the nanny for the past 31 days. That is when her mother, Cindy, decided to call 911 and report her granddaughter was missing. In describing the day Kaylee disappeared, Casey told the authorities, "I got off work, left Universal Studio driving back to pick up Kaylee on a normal day. I showed up to the apartment, knocked on the door, nobody answered, so I called Zion's cell phone and it's out of service." When we examine her statement, we see Casey used a lot of present tense verbs. If she was recalling what happened the day her daughter disappeared, she would have said, "I got off work, left Universal Studio, and drove back to pick up Kaylee on a normal day, and I showed up to the apartment, knocked on the door, nobody answered, so I called Zion's cell phone and it was out of service." Her use of the present tense verbs is a strong indication her story is not coming from memory, but instead it's coming from her imagination. When analyzing a statement, look at the verb tense the person uses. If a person is recalling from memory what happened, it would be very easy to describe everything in the past tense. However, the use of present tense language is an indication that portion of their statement may not be coming from memory. If you're interested in learning more about verb tenses and other statement analysis techniques, visit my website at StatementAnalysis.com. Be sure to watch part 5 of my video series on statement analysis. In this final chapter, I'll talk about what it means when a person answers a question with a question. Thank you for watching, and remember, people's words will betray them only if someone is listening.